Welcome to Welcome to Stand Up Memories. We are
I can't believe we were done,
back.
and we're going to go get something to eat, and our guest, Kristen, insists on us doing a whole nother show.
Yeah. What
I
a
mean,
ham she turned out
It's
to
one
be.
thing if Chris Monty said, oh, no, I want to talk about myself some more, but his other half, she's in heaven with the spotlights and, you know.
Welcome to our
miss my
podcast.
calling. No.
That is Jackie Martley. I'm Peter Bales, our guest comedian, the one and only Chris Monty, and his lovely wife, Kristen.
This is like a mini-series.
This is.
It really is. It really
Now,
is.
Kristen, you must have favorite material of Chris's. I mean, what do you like he talks about his family, he talks about things that happened to him in life, he talks about you have kids now. Mm-hmm. He's not, he had single material, but now all his material is about his life and being married.
Does that go out the window?
The single material? I don't do too much of it anymore. I mean, because, it
But
doesn't...
you could always say back when, and,
Yeah, I probably could. I got volumes of stuff that I put on, like there's videos of it that I taped, and when I first got married, I did a lot of single, now married comparisons using my old stuff, and I did a special and I put it on Amazon Prime, and that's all there, so you could see it there. But I tried to do like Seinfeld. I tried to go, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to write new stuff now, and I have all that. I can always, I borrow from it. When
Close
I'm doing,
the door, right?
Yeah,
right.
But basically my whole 45-minute set now or longer is what's going on now.
Yeah.
See, I think when you have a good joke, you can do it for half a century.
Yes.
But I do mess
Do you have any proof?
Just see Peter Bales anywhere.
But so actually, but you don't do the single material. You don't want to go back to that.
No, I don't. I mean, it's not my life. I like to stay in
Yeah,
what's
your
current.
life back then was so sordid
It's
anyway.
a lot about marriage and kids. I always tell them, you're welcome. Because when I'm there and I hear us, I'm like, wow, it really is.
But then I tell her, I go,
Life.
but even if I didn't meet you and was still single, I'd just be writing about what's going on now anyway.
Right,
So
in your life.
it wouldn't be
have
like I
as
wouldn't have
much.
material.
My
Pay her a
favorite
few
is
dollars.
the cloud. My favorite.
Oh, I don't
I
even
love
do
that.
that.
He doesn't do it
it's-
much anymore.
It's in the Amazon special. It's one of these bits that I do about women's brains versus men's brains and what goes on in
I've
their
seen
head.
that,
No,
yes.
Yeah, and it's so
It's good,
exhausting
it's
because I
great.
improvise
It's
the
great.
woman's brain. I improvise it
different
almost
all the
every time.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting to do the bit because it drains you mentally. And so she's always like, do the cloud. And I go, it's on the Amazon special. Just watch it.
Well,
Because I
let's
get
tell
6
the
cents for every
audience. In
hour.
fact, you tell the audience about the Amazon special.
Oh, so I got 2 specials actually. Amazon's old. It's up there. It's great. It's from 2018. It's called Chris Monty, What's the Worst That Could Happen? And you can see it on Amazon Prime. And then if you want an more updated version of what I'm doing these days, you can go on YouTube and watch my Dry Bar comedy special, which is called Just Be Happy. Chris Monty, Just Be Happy. And that's only 25 minutes. The Dry Bar special, anybody in the family, from grandma to the kindergarten kids could watch it. The Amazon special, a little more language and not dirty, but just a little more
The
adult.
what's the worst that could happen? Was that commentary on getting married?
No, I didn't know what to name the special, and so I said something one day, what's the worst that could happen? And the girl I had hired, Ingrid, who was my producer and promoter, was like, that's the name of the special, what's the worst that could happen? So
So,
That's great. It's very
Kristen,
catchy.
did you know Chris when he had a mustache?
she's seen
No.
pictures.
I only know him 7 years.
Oh,
No.
but you shave. Why'd you shave your mustache?
No, whoa.
Because that's what to do the joke. Because people kept saying, Chris with a nose like yours, why underline it?
Now, when I met you, you didn't have a mustache, right?
No, Peter knows that joke from Stand Up University from 1998, but I didn't even have a mustache then.
No.
I had just
When
done
he was
the,
a kid, he had one.
Yeah, I had one, in my 20s and my teens and stuff, the little, the 80s.
No, it's like that. Why underline it? It becomes the Groucho face.
Right. So,
But you were never really a wild, crazy guy in your single years that you can mention
Of course
now.
he was.
I'm sure he had fun.
I had fun.
He had fun. I had
But
fun too, though.
nothing like now. Now it's so much better just coming home and
Coming
changing
home.
diapers and passing out on the couch.
It's so
We'll be back one day. We'll
it's
get
so
back to
odd.
ourselves.
No matter whether you're single or married or have a girlfriend or anything, and you just never know what's going on the other side. And I'll never forget that one day, and she must have been thinking that forever, but I always think I'm the same guy, and I'm sure we all think we're the same guy. And it was probably a Saturday, and we wake up, and I'm having my Saturday, and my wife goes, "It's pretty obvious who had a good show last night." Like, what are you talking about? And she said, "You have a complete spring in your step. You're a whole different person the day after a fantastic show." Do you ever? Is that noticeable? Do you?
I don't know if I do. I mean, I know what you mean. You feel good after a good show.
I mean, I could see myself being a miserable son of a bitch if I got tarred. And
I'm the
feathered.
same. I'm like old school, like Clark Gable. At the end of the day, I come home. She knows. I come home. I put
over.
my stuff down. She hears the 2 ice cubes hit the glass. I pour the Jack Daniels. I sit next to her. I go, hey, I'll call her. I'll say, listen, I'm stopping at Kentucky Fried Chicken for a bucket. You want me to get the big one or the small one? No, I ate. You can get it, and we'll have it for leftover. Or I'm going to stop and get a slice of pizza. You want a slice? I'm always doing that. That's my routine. And she'll say, how was the show? Oh, the show was good. It was whatever. We'll talk about it when we get home. But then we never talk about it because by the time you do that 2 hour drive, I go, I just want the Jack Daniels now. And let's put on a rerun of The Honeymooners and just,
Right.
So,
and you go into that.
and then
he's home. He
you
goes into
unwind
the
on the
zone.
drive. I might call
Yeah.
a comic or two on that drive home and discuss a joke or two that went well with. But when I get home, it's like I kind of leave it at the office. So she, you know.
You don't want to talk shop.
Yeah.
I like to hear about
She
it.
likes to hear when something good happens. And I
Yeah.
will tell her if something, if I meet a celebrity or something great happened with an interaction with an audience member, I'll tell her that,
But who really wears the pants in the family?
I do.
I knew it. Did you let him plan anything at your wedding, or was he
The DJ, I was allowed to get the DJ because I had a friend that can give us a
DJ?
discount.
That's why you got the DJ.
And I know they say that the English are cheap, but you got the German Americans too. They're
I
a little
don't
tight
think
in the
they
wallet.
say
Oh,
you.
Like a
Germans?
deal here
Germans
and
are
there.
tight.
Oh, forget it.
No, but really generous. But
Very
we watch our
generous.
money. We watch.
Generous
we watch.
yet frugal.
I'll listen.
My wife doesn't go anywhere without a coupon for it,
Well, that's all right.
No,
Well,
that's
that
good.
you
That's
want
smart.
that in a wife.
No, it's good. We balance each other out because I'm a spendthrift and she's a thrifty spender. So.
But your wedding went
Yes.
just the way you wanted it to go? Was it perfect?
It was.
Well, my wife got a little drunk. So here's what happened.
Another German trait.
My wife,
right.
they can drink, her family. But my wife said, I'm not going to be that bride. I'm not going to be drunk. And she didn't make a spectacle of
No,
herself.
I wasn't. Yeah, I
But
wasn't
what
drunk
happened
like
was,
that.
I'm not missing the dinner at my wedding. So many brides missed the dinner at their own wedding. And so we got to the place was great. And I found out they're closing now.
No, I said we're not going to have any drinks until after the pictures are done. And then he walks up with a drink, and I'm like,
Well, what happened was they said, they sent the bride and groom their own personal assistant for the day.
Right.
And the girl's like, whatever you want. And I'm like, well, I'm
And
gonna
every
go to the-
time you turn around,
Yeah, so I go, I'm going to go to the
Chardonnay.
bar and get a drink. She goes, no. I'll get you drinks. Whatever you want. You want food, you want a drink, I get it for you. I said, okay. I threw her like $150. I said, I want.
Really?
Yeah,
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, I tipped her like $150 up front, so I knew she knew. I said, I want a Jack Daniels with 2 ice cubes, and you want something? Well, I guess I'll have a Chardonnay. So she has a Chardonnay. So now we didn't really eat at the cocktail hour because you're taking pictures and all that stuff.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, I sit down to eat. I got my steak. I got my Jack Daniels. My
I think I was
champagne.
dancing at that point.
And I look, where the hell? I'm by myself at the dais, by myself.
You know,
I
when you
look
have
up,
a few drinks,
she's
you're not
spinning around
hungry.
with her girlfriends dancing. I'm like, oh my God, she's gonna
you
miss the whole
forget
meal.
if you don't want to eat.
And
You're
she
having
didn't
fun
eat.
at that point.
We got back to the hotel after the wedding, which is funny in itself because I didn't want to get a hotel because we got married 20 minutes from where we lived. I go, we're gonna go back to the apartment at wedding night, right? She goes, I'm not going back to the apartment on our wedding night.
Exactly.
I'm with you here.
Yeah. So we went back, beautiful place.
Had a hot tub the whole
balcony.
night,
Yeah,
never
hot-
touched it once.
Hey, if she's spending the money for once in her life,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I got the hotel. We got back to the hotel, and thank God they gave us some food to go. They gave us champagne, whatever. As soon
My
as we got back to the
salmon dinner.
hotel, she's like, "I'm starving." I'm like, "That's what we're sitting there."
We're eating cold salmon,
You didn't have
cold
sex. You were
steak.
eating like you're animals. That's what we did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Though. That's
It was
nice.
It was a fun one. People still talk about it to this day.
It was a good
Food,
wedding. I actually was very
everything
happy
was
with
fabulous.
the food. We got married at we got the reception at the North Ritz Club in Sayas,
Beautiful
right
place.
here.
And
Right
it's a
now.
one wedding
I know
place.
it. Yeah.
They're closing now.
They closed.
Why?
They went horrible.
I did an
dying
event
to go
for
to
the
a wedding
Italian
there.
American Heritage Club in October there, and the bartender said to me, did you get married here? You're the comedian. I said, yeah, like 5 years ago. He goes, we remember you. You guys were great, great wedding. And he goes, we're closing. And I said, why?
Now, wait, now.
Such a bummer.
What was this always that name?
The North. Before it was the North Ritz Club, it was something else. I forget.
Fox Hollow?
No, not Fox
No,
Hollow.
no,
This is
that's
right on
different.
Jericho Turnpike. You know where the shopping center is, where Kristen Tony's restaurant is?
Yes.
In the shopping center?
Or Nissan in Syosset. It's
yeah,
right over
it's
there.
right hidden. It's kind of hidden behind the. But what happened is the
That's a place you got married.
No, but it was close by.
the owners are retiring and the kids don't want the business, so they're
Right.
just selling it.
Which
to,
happens a lot.
yeah. So.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a really
Really
nice
good
place.
food.
Yeah, I was dying to go to a wedding there. I was asking everybody, please get married there. I just want to be a guest.
So we can enjoy it because we didn't enjoy ours. We're too busy taking
I had
pictures.
fun. I
you know?
don't remember everything. That's the problem.
But anyway, so sorry I rambled on. You can edit all
No,
that
do you
out.
like comedians? I mean, besides Chris, do you get some? You like?
I mean,
just
I like
about
going to shows. I never dated a comedian before him. No.
Some comedians drive you crazy, though, right? What can a comedian do to
Look,
drive?
I would never date. You date. See, you're married to a comedian. I would
right.
never date a comedian when I was single. I would date. I did date an actress, a singer, or whatever, but never somebody doing exactly what I'm doing because then is that always competition? There's always that.
I never thought. I don't think I've ever been on a date or even fooled around with a comic. Or am I gonna? No.
Well,
I heard that.
let me tell you.
It never dawned on me. Because in your mind, it's like, of course not.
Of course not, because you get that phone call, and then all of a sudden, you get. I have friends that married to, and then you call one, and the other one's like, "Oh, can you squeeze me on that one?" And I go, "No, I can't. We need her or we need him." So I didn't want to have that competition in a relationship. It's bad enough in this business. We're
on.
insecure. We're getting turned down, rejected. You don't want to have that double in your house.
I can't count the number of times I've been on a 3-person show, and there's a female comic on the show, and we get rooms after the show, and I get that 2 a.m. phone call. I can't sleep. Jeez. All right, I lied. I lied. But
A guy with no arms couldn't count that on all of his fingers.
It's tough for female comics. It is, because it's a very macho profession, and
That's
by
dangerous,
nature,
Well, she-
they have to
but
be-
I
dangerous
am-
territory, what you're saying right now, even though it shouldn't be.
No, I admire female comics. In fact, female comics on Long Island right now are leading the charge.
Yeah. But it is sort of a Ricky Lucy thing because my wife always wants to be in she was thrilled to come here today. Thank you for having us. But she always said to me, if you ever got a sitcom and about your life, I'm playing your wife, right? I said, no, you don't have 1 ounce of acting experience. I'm going to get an actress to play my wife, right? So look at that.
She's still mad.
Yeah.
Your plan is
I'll be someone in there.
No, I said
Even
you
if
could
it's a cashier, I'll
you'll
be
a-
someone.
You'll do a cameo or walk by. I'll have an extra with a
A
line.
million years ago, I was probably still on the Stern Show, and they tape Law and Order, and they tape movies, and they tape everything. And like in Manhattan, they'll have 10 trucks and trailers and cameras and all kinds of crap, and they're just shooting a 30-second snippet
Right.
for Law and Order or something. But I remember I guess I was really naive, and I'm walking along, and there's a trailer, and it says Desi, and another trailer said Lucy. I'm like, wow, they're doing the story of I Love Lucy or they're whatever. Every location, the men's room is Desi,
Right.
and the ladies' room is Lucy. I had no
On
idea.
the trailers, they're
I-
all Desi and Lucy. That's
I had
men and
no
women.
idea. I thought that was so cool.
And-
I said, how hip am I that I know that now? And how unhip am I that I didn't know that? already?
Right.
I actually was on a set for Law and Order. My friend's son was on the show, and I was like, please notice me. just get me in there somehow.
They were like, yeah, see the one at the
I was just-
commissary putting biscuits in her pocketbook?
I spoke to them.
For
all
later.
the people.
For later. No, they just
I met
shot
some
a
of the
couple of
actors.
scenes for an HBO show at my house. And it sounds like a Disney movie. And it is so over the top filthy. It's called The Other Two. And it's a guy and a girl that are like in their 20s, a brother and sister. And the guy's gay, and he's always tried to be an actor, totally failed. The girl was a dancer, totally failed, so she's flailing around. And their 13-year-old brother just recorded a quick song on his iPhone, and it went internationally viral, and now he's a monster star.
That's the thing, it's
And
viral,
it's called
yeah.
The Other Two, and it's about the family trying to deal with this insanity, and the mother's Molly Shannon.
And they're filming it at your house?
Well, it's backwards. Like they did 2 seasons on Comedy Central. I never heard of it, and I guess it was so good that HBO picked it up. So they were filming parts for season 3 and they did it at my house. It was great.
Did you get a part?
Huh?
You get a part?
You never do.
Yeah.
You know, they did they had a kid's birthday party for a show called The Affair.
Mm-hmm.
The entire episode is the kid's birthday party at my home. The entire
Really?
episode is a birthday party. So I got a TV show of a party, a kid's birthday party at
know
my
that
house.
show, yeah.
Just nobody I know is so funny. Yeah.
So you talked about being on a set of Law and Order.
Right.
They would come once in a while to film at the college where I teach. And I did not know I was doing this. It was the end of the day. I'm going home. I walked into the elevator, and standing in the elevator waiting to go down was Vincent D'Onofrio. That would have been a Law and Order Criminal Intent, right? Mm-hmm. And he's very tall. I looked down and recognized him right away. He's got a very young assistant there with a clipboard. And the elevator door closes. And I never do this. I never talk to celebrities. I never do this. But for some reason, I looked at him and I said, I guess there's been a murder on campus. And he looked down, he played along. He was nice. He didn't have to be, but he was. He was nice. He goes, I'm afraid so. And I
so
said,
good.
and then I said, well, I hope you catch the guy. And he goes, don't worry, we will. Door opens, he walks out.
That's so fun.
Just one of
That's
those, one of
great.
those
That's
cool
so
moments.
fun.
You know,
That
he
is so
didn't have to
fun.
put up with me with that, but he played along. It was very nice.
That is-
I had a little moment. I was at another set. Not that I know this many people, but I was on another set, and it was Matt Damon. And he walked by and he said hello. And we were there all day, and I was eating goldfish. So he walks by. I was hungry, and he's like, "Hi," and I'm like, "Oh, hi," and I was like, "Goldfish?" Like I don't know what to say. I was like,
You offered him goldfish?
Yeah, what am I gonna do? You
Did
know?
you take one?
No, no, but he's very nice.
I think Chris, on the way home, Chris is going to go, so how well did you know Matt
Yeah,
Damon?
like what happened?
No.
after-
Yeah, what happened with Matt Damon?
I've
My
heard
friend
these
knew the
stories.
director, and we with some of the girls we went, and it was cool, you know, just to see a few.
Well, she's funny because she's always wants to be in the show, and I want to
do.
be. So I do a big show New Year's Eve a couple years ago, and I never take her. I do a lot of afternoon stuff. I was doing 2 shows. I did a show on the way to the show. So I did an afternoon luncheon for seniors, big 300 people in a catering hall, band, you know, plays, and I come out after lunch and do a half hour, and then I was going to get in the car and go down to Mohegan Sun in Pennsylvania to do New Year's Eve that night. So I said to my wife, come with me New Year's Eve, you know, but we got to stop and do a day show. So we got to leave early in the morning, like 10:30.
I miss those times.
So we
Those are
get
fun.
we get to the first show, and she sits. I said, sit down, have lunch. They give you food, eat what you want. We're sitting with the band and everything. And so the band leader, gets up to bring me on, and unbeknownst to me and her, he says, you know, and they all knew me. Like this crowd knows me. I do their show all the time. Before I bring out our headlining comedian, a special guest he brought with him today. He always talks about her, and in the act, you guys know a lot of his stuff. Well, Chris Monty's wife, Kristen, is here. And they
Stand up.
turned the spotlight on her, and like a deer in headlights, she just says it like that.
I didn't know this was
And
gonna
he's like,
happen.
stand up. And she's like, you know, she's, I'm
was
sitting there
pregnant,
dying.
too.
And I'm like, wow, you choked. Yeah, it was your big moment.
I did, yeah. I was like,
Oh, that's
that's
hysterical.
I bribe a dus.
Oh, that is
but
so
it's fun.
funny.
It's fun. It's fun moments. It's, you know, exciting to go with him sometimes.
Have
on
you
the
ever-
shows and-
Wanted to have a few lines in his act and, you know,
Like, be my
bring
plant?
her up to, you know, to
On
do like
stage?
a little Lucy.
The only thing I ever did was I brought her out. I did the Madison Theater at Malloy College. That's where I did my comedy special on Amazon Prime. Check it out.
Right.
What's the worst that could happen? The following year, the guy said, hey, you want to come back and you did so good ticket sales, you want to just come back and do a show, whether you're taping or not? I said, yeah. So I went back and did another show, and we had a nice big crowd, and I had just had my daughter. So at the end of the set, I did like an hour, and I had her come out with our
Oh,
new daughter on
Olivia.
stage, and she was like all night long. She was dressed. The baby was in a little they were both going to walk the red carpet or something, and she all night long. They're in the dressing room waiting for me for that one moment, and she's so happy. She comes out like,
Oh, but that's
It
great.
was sweet. Yeah.
That's nice.
That's a beautiful room, man. That's
yeah,
I
great
know.
room. When it's
Yeah.
full too, it's great. Right?
Wow.
That is nice. Well, you guys.
I would say when they have the next kid, they could go
Nope,
back
that's
on.
it.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not what I heard.
From who? I'm not having it.
Really? Good. Some little Jack.
Yeah, you know what? You can handle another kid.
Would you like
finished.
a fourth drink?
I'm
dear?
finished. 2 is done.
Don't you want another Mark Lund?
I wanted a
little
boy.
Twins.
I wanted a boy, and then she said, well, if you have a girl this time, we're going to try for a boy. I said, no. Then I just have 2 daughters, and that's it.
Actually, he did tell me yes, but now he's saying no.
No, because I feel it now. I'm not old, but I'm old enough to be starting.
Just don't say never. Just say
Listen, if it happened
No,
naturally,
I'm happy now with 2.
you know.
Just
I'll get a dog. Just a male dog.
Like Peter Bales would say in his act, we'll see.
you're not old. It's just
No.
maybe you don't get into the potato sack race in 6th grade.
Listen, I drop my daughter's in pre-K 3. I drop her off and pick her up most of the time when my wife's working. I see the handwriting on the wall. I'm the oldest guy there. Pick it up and drop her. And then down the line, a couple more years when I'm dropping the both of them off, because they'll be at the age where they're both in the same, junior school, grade school at the same time. I'm going to be the old guy with the cigar and the black socks and sandals, waiting for the kids outside.
But people are having kids later too.
Yeah.
these days.
yeah
So I
yeah.
go and I see women who are like, some
Women,
my
she's younger than
age.
me.
Yeah, but still,
It's fine though.
So you
It's
know
all
what they
good.
said about
It's all
Tony
good.
Randall when he had a baby?
He was like 78 when
His
he had a-
wife had a baby. I think he was 79.
The first thing they
God,
said to
wow.
him was, who do you suspect?
And then they said he's the only one in America looking for an assisted living facility with daycare.
Which is so great.
You guys are great.
Thank you for having us.
Chris Monty.
An honor to be with you 2 fine gentlemen
And
who I
Kristen.
respect
Thank
as
you, this was fun.
comedians.
Anytime I'll come back. Now I'm joking.
You can have her alone.
With or
this
without
time.
him.
Yes.
The comedy dating game.
Yeah.
That's right. We should do that. Anyway, this has been Stand Up Memories, and our name is perfect for this show because we share such great memories with all of our guests.
Well,
And-
there's some memories you've shared 5 times,
that's right. That's a
Well,
memory issue.
but they never get old. They weren't that good the first time.
Thank you, Jackie. Jackie,
No, he's a delightful, I may marry him.
Jackie Martling, Peter Bales, of course, Chris Monty, Kristen.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right. Stand Up Memories. We'll see you next time.
StandUpMemories.com. That was a pretty good episode.
A new episode every Wednesday with me, Peter Bales, Jackie the Joke Man Martling, comedians, interesting people. Leave a comment. We'll get what am I saying?
I don't know.
We're gonna get back to you. We will respond to your comment.
StandUpMemories.com. If you go there, it shows all the different
All
platforms.
Spotify, we're on everything.
Every Wednesday.
Stand Up Memories,
Every Wednesday.
a new episode.